All right, we are into the first part finale, and it felt very muted to me, but I think it's clear that they are saving the bigger moments for part two, which, that's what you do to get people to come back. Um, so they start with talking with Katarina. I mean, they just glanced over Christopher because Tommy was focusing on them both being wild cards and that stuff, and so he was talking with Katarina mostly about that. She did make it further than he did and develop connections. He did not, and the entire time she was talking, because at this point Jessica and Janelle were in the back, and they were just like rolling those eyes, cutting those eyes, making faces. And I just think that they were just jealous of Katarina and the fact that Katarina did not back down to them. And even though they had quote unquote won in the end because they were able to find a connection that also chose them, there still seems to be this lingering like feeling. And it seems because like their men and other men would have wanted her just as much, or she would have had a much stronger chance at getting their hearts if she had came in at the same time. Which, I don't know. I just feel like you want what you want. You pursue what you want. You go after what you want. Not necessarily no matter when it comes, but it's like, it wasn't like she came in at the last minute. She came in soon enough where everything was still fresh. Like, you could have, but whatever. And so she had initially connected with Phil and Herbert, and I don't know why they were making like almost like a sour face about this, because I mean, it is a very valid reason to no longer be interested in someone, because she said basically y'all were not pursuing me. She called it positive aggression, but she was like, I mean, you're not pursuing me. What do you expect? And I would be the same way too. Like, I mean, you're nice and all, but I'm here to date. I'm here to find love. I'm not here to just linger around with you. So I was with her leaving them. I was. But she overall seemed to just have fun there. Everyone, I guess guys wise, they enjoyed her, and it was fine. Then we move on to Unique or Eunuch or is it Unique? Whatever. In Red, she was so annoying to me. Her little time with him. I think it's very clear that she just did not like Red as a person. And it seems like she may have known things about him before coming on this show. And that's why she behaved the way that she did. Because if her initial feelings towards him was solely based around the fact that she thinks that he has a thought job being a DJ, then why didn't she express the same thing to Quentin? Or especially Marvin and his erotic self. And not that him being an author would do that, but him involving other people and all types of stuff, like those types of things, that is a thought job. And as she puts it, and look, I get what she's saying. A thought job is a job that the ability to catch women's attention is very strong. The lack of self-control in that environment, it's just one of those jobs where, for me, I don't want my man to do. You are inviting problems, DJs, even like artists, people who travel, trainers, bartenders, so to each his own with how you feel about those professions, but she can't be that way with him and not be the same with all the others. So I really do think it was very personal, and she was so snappy, and Red is just like, lady, would you just shut up at this point? That's really what he wanted to tell her, and I wanted to say it too. And then they brought out Marvin, and Marvin was talking about all of his, interests, and Tommy was asking the women about how they felt, and they were like, no. But Unique was like, I liked it, and she went to an event, and then she was saying how there was something with them after the show, but then he had a girlfriend and didn't go anywhere. And I just think she was like jealous, or she just a secret little freak in the closet that just wanted to be let out. But Marvin was studying her. He wasn't studying her towards the end of their time on the show, and he wasn't studying her at this reunion, because she was like, why? Like, why didn't he want to keep going with her or whatever? And I was like, yeah, someone just ignore her, because she just wants attention. So I'm hoping we don't see anything else from her, because there really isn't anything else from her on the second part. Then for some reason, they brought out just Marie and Jessica. I don't know if they've ever done that before, where it has only been just a couple and nobody else, because they always have others out there, always. I'm telling you, the things I've heard about Jessica having all this control, she probably said, just me and him. And my feeling is, you cannot have Jessica and Marie without having Chris out there. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, he should have been out there, but they're clearly maybe saving that for the next part, because he didn't show up at all. Like, Chris got nothing this episode. But it's very clear that Jessica and Marie are not together. They're not really into each other. They're just saving face just to be here, and that's that on that. And it's like, goodbye, you'll upturn lips. Then the last part is so ghetto. It is so ghetto. And for once, Janelle isn't in the wrong and isn't like the crazy one. But she will be next episode. But we start off with Habibi and his cultural appropriation self, and his dumbness over things that he said and did to Janelle and Sierra. First of all, what's her name? Kiara, whatever her name is, was there. Why was she there? Because she hasn't, as far as I know, she had nothing with him. And then she was holding his hand. So it was like, why was she there? Like, if you're going to separate people in these little groups, include the people who had an actual, like, impact, not just randoms. Like, she's a random. Yeah. She was a random. And I think, was Herbert there? No, I'm thinking of the last part. But anyway, and so he played dumb about what he did. He didn't understand. Then he tried to pull in excuses, like parents put their aggression or something on their children. And she was like, crawfish? This was Sierra. And it just got really stupid. And Janelle just got really upset, and she just couldn't stand it anymore, because he's just playing dumb. Like, he's definitely the guy who would cheat on you. You would catch him in the act, and he would play dumb like, that wasn't me. This ain't me. Like, he would be that guy. Like, he would really make you feel like you were losing your mind. And so I'm so glad that he did not last long on this season. I think he was only in 2 episodes, because Jesus, I couldn't deal with him. Couldn't deal with him there. Then after Janelle storms off and he tried to follow her, and then she was like, don't follow me. I was like, ooh. Okay, Janelle, you can chill. Then Herbert went to talk to her. For some reason, it was Herbert and not Quentin. So I found that to be interesting. And Habibi goes back on stage and starts playing his saxophone all off key and stuff. And it was like, okay, you can sit down. Kenny G, wanna be? So, but I understood Janelle's like frustration in that moment, because it's like he's doing all these like blatant, obvious, disrespectful things. He's playing dumb about it. He almost thinks it's like a joke, and ugh. So the last part deals with Tequila and a little bit with Habibi and Janelle, because those two ladies had their big blowout, and Tequila was like about to fight. First of all, Tequila had the worst outfit. That looked so tacky. I just could not understand the outfit at all. Like I really couldn't. My eyes did not understand it. But let me tell you something. You know, a person is crazy in a ghetto way when they are rocking when they talk. Okay? The way that they talk is so calm, it's scary, it clearly feels out of character. And then it's like you're doing it because it's like you are, if someone says one thing, you're off. And I was like, this woman looked like she is about to jump up and pounce. She is. But I mean, so before her and Janelle was starting to get into it a little bit, she got on not Herbert, Phil, and I feel so bad for him because he looked like he wanted to cry because she's embarrassing him, talking about him being broke and filing for bankruptcy because it had shown a flashback of them and him saying how she made him uncomfortable. I think asking him about something like intimate, and it made him uncomfortable, and he really wasn't studying her. And then she was like, you know what makes me uncomfortable? Broke. Filing for bankruptcy. She thought she was doing something doing that. And everyone was like, the heck? What are you talking about? And then he was like, yeah, I filed for bankruptcy. This was in '08. The houses fell down. Like, what you talking about? You know, I don't know if she was expecting him to deny it and then she was going to like yell out. And so it was like, girl, you are horrible. Ugh. But, you know, of course, Janelle and her tried to play dumb, like they squashed their little beef. But as soon as they got backstage, Janelle made a comment about, ooh, somebody's feathers. I guess were like on a seat around where she was. And that's when Tequila just set it off. And Janelle set it off too. Tequila was getting up, starting to knock things over. And it really looked like she was being escorted out. I don't think they're going to let her come back. I think she's shown one too many times that she is okay. Now this is also a combative person, but she was showing aggression. She was showing strong aggression, and that she needs to go. She needs to go. But before that happened, I do remember the reason that Tequila gave for why she just went off on Janelle was because before they started filming their deliberation, Janelle was talking, you know, Tequila said that Janelle was saying that, you know, she wants to uplift the men and yada, yada, yada. And then, so when the cameras are on and they're filming this, it's like the opposite, and that really set her off. And I get that, but given the context for why Janelle said it, I mean, why wouldn't she go that route? If he touched her inappropriately or was very much in an uncomfortable personal space of hers and then was talking about her body and what he was going to do to it, I mean, I uplift my eye. Like, I'm very much this type of person where I don't go for something just because it's black. I go for something because it is good, because it's respectful, because it is caring, because it's just a great thing. And as a black person, not all black is great, and I'm not going to fake pretend that. So as much as, you know, we always want our black community to be amazing, when they do things like that, no, you cannot, I'm not going to play dumb to you. And I think that's, you know, where Janelle was coming from with that. Like, as much as I want to uplift, at the same time, I'm not going to excuse your behavior if it's wrong. And so then that's how I feel about with the whole combative word that was used against Jessica earlier. I mean, wrong word should have been more like an off-putting, but if it fits, it fits. I don't care about you being black. If it fits, it literally fits. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, so that's where the episode ended, with Tequila essentially being escorted out. It looks like for next episode, we're going to see more of Janelle and Katarina's issue with each other. Also, Lee and Janelle, what they're gonna get into it. I'm the two things that we didn't see a preview, at least that I didn't notice, was Aries and Phil, and Chris and Jessica. So I don't know if they're saving that, but it's kind of like that was like the biggest takeaway from the whole season. The fact that Chris cussed someone out, a woman out, and because as far as I know, we've never had it from the opposite sex. I'm like cursing each other out, like, well, a man cursing a woman out like that. But then also, the fact that Aries told him that she didn't respect him. So I think those are like two big things that are like, whoa, okay. So hopefully we'll get to see about it and really be able to understand that entire backstory with all of that, especially with Aries, because it's a lot. All right, y'all. See you next time.